Hello, ladies. Welcome back to the Active and Attractive group. Inside of today's live, we are going to be talking a lot more about world building. And so if you have already seen the conversations we've been having so far, this is video number 2 in a continuation series on what world building is all about. Now, there is a lot to say in regards to what world building is for you, and how world building is going to allow you to feel supported as a healthy feminine leader. We're going to dive more into this conversation today. So if you have not heard what I mean when I say the word world building, you're like, Sammy, I don't get it, but I want to know more. Go and watch last week's live. It was incredible. We just started to lay the foundation. So if you're catching me live right now, I would love to hear that you're here, because if you don't know everything that we're doing, Kaylin, if you don't know everything that we're doing yet, that's okay. The breadcrumbs are being dripped out one aspect at a time. So let me know that you're live. And if you're here on the replay, also hashtag active attractive. Let me know that you watched the video. I want you to feel safe, and I love you so much. Hi. I want you guys to feel safe to interact with these lives. And if you know me, you know that the number one thing I stand for is our ability to express our emotions, okay? Whether or not we're talking about fitness or leadership or communication or just feeling safe within our bodies, every single emotion that you experience is absolutely okay. Every single emotion that you experience. And so what I love to do is I love to start my lives off by asking, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? Why? Because when we are comfortable enough to express how we really feel, what we're doing is we're opening the gateway to being okay with our current state. Now, the idea is that what you feel on the inside does leak out into the outside world. It leaks out to the people that you're talking to. It leaks out into the work that you're doing. And when we allow all of our emotions to be okay, it doesn't matter what mood we're in, we can build the world around us, and what we produce is still okay. So understanding our internal world and recognizing that the way that you feel is just one caveat to expressing yourself, to building the things that you want, to engage in the things that you see in your mind and put them out there onto this earth. The first step is to recognize that how you feel right now in this moment, it's okay. It's all okay. So what we're going to be talking about today is, like I said, I highly recommend going back and watching last week's video on world building, because this is a conversation I've been wanting to bring to the world for a very long time. My biggest issue is that I haven't been able to summarize what world building is into a sentence or two. I really had to create an entire year-long mastermind to get the point across. And we did such a great thing last year. Me and the women inside of the world building mastermind, we were able to touch in on their internal experiences, who they were, what they were navigating in their lives. And it was incredible to see women tackle multiple areas of their life just to produce the things that they want. Now, world building, essentially, if I could summarize it the best, is there are things that you see within you. There's a way that you wish to experience the world around you. There are things around you that are problems. They are issues. They're just things that aren't going according to what you see as fit. And as a leader, our intention is that we want to go build and fix those things. But we don't want to go fix the things because, truthfully, the world is not broken. The world is just offset. And with the mindset that the world is exactly where it needs to be, and we're stepping into an evolution of where the world is going, our only mission as healthy feminine leaders is to know who we are internally and express that version out into the world. Now, the problem with healthy feminine leaders is that the beginning stage of really owning your leadership is that you cannot change the world through influence until you know who you are. We cannot transform our families. We cannot transform our communities. We cannot transform our government, our school systems, our femininity, our sexuality, our ways that we dress. We cannot transform what we see until we know who we are. And when we scale it back from global issues and we bring it all the way back to more proximal things, we can't transform the things right in front of us, whether it's you want to lose 50 pounds, whether it's you want to see more ease in the way that your day goes, whether it's you want to see more organization. We can't fully transform these aspects of our immediate world until we've defined for ourselves who it is that we are and what it is that we want. So Kaylin said it best, identity before influence, my friend. I think if that is world building in a nutshell, I think you just gave me a sentence, because at the end of the day, most of us, if you look at how you've been living your life, you've probably been tackling the world, just solving problems one thing at a time, putting fires out, trying to make things happen, forcing, pushing, pressing, because you see what you know is meant to be changed. This is your gift. This is the most beautiful aspect of you, is that you have vision for more and what this gets to look like. But the way that you're going about it, the way that most of us go about it, is with all the efforting, we poop out. We get tired. We feel burnt out. We feel our efforts are for nothing. We feel like we're pushing and pressing and going day to day to day to day, and then it all didn't really change very much. And I know for me, you know that's my jam. Ashley, you know that it is true that when a leader is tired, when a leader is not supported, when a person who has responsibilities on her back, when we are not in a place where we feel kept, we stop. We freeze. We avoid. And that beautiful aura that we have to bring to the planet, it shrinks. When we are not supported from our internal world, our personal life, our personal world, it doesn't matter how much vision you carry. It doesn't matter what it is that you're here to say. It doesn't matter what mission you're meant to go conquer on this earth. It does not matter, because when you're tired, your aura is this big. It's really little. And what we want is your aura to light up the sun. Ashley, Brandy's here, Kaylin, you ladies are I'm so blessed to actually know each of you guys. All of you guys here right now, I know you personally. And, oh, I could cry. I see the brilliance and the magnetism that you naturally are. Some of you guys are very expressive. Some of you guys have big hearts. Some of you guys are very diligent. Some of you are bold. Some of you guys are daring. Some of you guys are meek and calculating. Some of you guys are intentional, intuitive. Each of your internal experiences, how you feel that the world could benefit from, what you feel the world could benefit from, you carry it. You carry it. But we cannot build the external world. We can't do it unless we build it from an authentic place. And how does a builder build without a blueprint? What we want to do is we want to own and dominate and know your blueprint so well that you don't get confused. You don't doubt yourself. You don't compare yourself. You don't lose yourself in the build, because ladies, I love you, but if we really were to get into the nitty gritty of what's actually out there that we could have an effect and a change on, there's a lot of things that are in motion in our society and our emotional state and there's so many things out there, things that are really calling you. They're very locked in how they're currently running, and that's okay. But if you were to go in and try to infiltrate some change, it'd be very easy to lose yourself if you didn't know exactly what you're meant to do. So right now, where we're at in the world building journey is there are things out there. You might be called to helping children. You might be called to helping other women. You might be like Brandy, who's here to bring intimacy to relationships. You might be like Ashley, who's here to just, oh my God, write and speak and change people's minds through words. You might be here to, you might be called to government. You might be called to science. You might be called to technology. There are things in the world that are ready to be evolved because you have the vision. But we're right now in the phase where we first need to build your world so that when you do your life and you wipe the sweat from your brow and you're like, whew, that was a tough one. I think I created a little change today. And you turn off your phone or you walk into your home, you've got 4 different areas of your life that absolutely satisfy you. Ladies, what I want to talk to you about today, hello, Natalie, how's it going? Oh my God, ladies, I'm so happy you guys are here. It just livens me up when you're here live. I just can't. Okay, there are 4 different aspects of your world. And typically what happens is if we are trying to say, I want to create massive change. You might have a business. Let's say you have a business to help bring businesses to multiple 6-figure months, okay? And you know what your mission is, and you know what your purpose is, and you know what your calling is, but you're trying to grow, you're trying to scale. And it doesn't matter what strategy you try to use. It doesn't matter what ideas that come up in your mind. You kind of hit a ceiling. There's like a wall. And you show up to your meetings, you show up and try to bring on more clients. You try and you sell and you try and you sell and you try to do all these things, and it just doesn't seem to work. Typically what I've found is that, especially more specifically for women, when things don't work, that we know what we want, but they're not working, there's something in our personal life that's holding us back. There's something in the realm of fear, where we're carrying a fear about something that if we reach for what it is that we really want, we feel like something else is going to fall away. Tell me if you resonate with that. It might be you want to get a bigger house. You might want to increase your income. You might want to go on more vacations with your family. You have vision for where you believe things should go. You might want to lose weight. You might want to start working out. But typically what happens is if we're the ambitious type of person and you notice that this one area just seems to be sticky. It's like, I can't break out of this. Why can't I move? When we really sit down with ourselves, you would be amazed at the way our mind gets all tangled up. And if I had to summarize it down to the bare bones, what I would say is there's something in your world that's not supporting you. There's something in your world that's not supporting you. So what I want to talk to you about today, ladies, is Ashley said, I literally asked myself this morning, why am I afraid of being in shape? And don't get me started there, but that's what I'm talking about. I call it the invisible wall. We see what we want, it's right there, and we can't seem to break through it. Okay, Natalie says, all about spreading sunshine and smiles across the miles while helping others to feel good about themselves and get their sexy back. Okay, I love that. I love that. So you guys are in tune. Now, the practical is the piece. Like, how are we going to do that? How are we going to make that happen? Well, you build out a strategy. And the only way to get it is to just press go and do it. But something won't let you go. We either overthink, we avoid, we procrastinate, we put it all off. And then before you know it, that idea is a 5-year-old idea. And we have good intentions, but it still hasn't been built into the earth yet. What I want to talk to you about today, ladies, again, I'm going to say this one more time. The frame that we're looking at this through is right now, these lives are really intended to build out what it is that you want. I really want us all to be very clear about what it is that we're wanting to build in our lives in the upcoming season. The way I'm looking at it is on January 1st, I'm assuming you guys have big dreams for what 2024 is for you. And so I want us to spend the time between now, November, all the way through the end of December, the next 2 months, to really dive in to what it is that you want to focus on. Now, most of what you really want to focus on requires some preparation. And what I'm referencing now, meaning you know what you want in 2024, but you've got to do some other work first before you can just smoothly ride your way to it, right? That's what we're going to dive. That's a lot of what this concept is meant to help you support. Okay. Kaylin says, I often want so many things that I need to prioritize to focus as opposed to going after it all at the same time. So Kaylin, I'll speak from my experience. When I noticed that my focus was everywhere and I tried to make everything the same priority, I'm not saying this is you, but for me, I realized the reason I was like that was because I was terrified about what was going to change in my personal life in order for me to support my success and my growth. I felt like focus was actually going to get me a result, and it was going to bring more responsibility to me and break my home life. I really felt like it would break my home life. Like I wouldn't be able to just be home and cozy and rested at home. I thought that it would break that quadrant of my life. These are the kind of thoughts that we have when we don't realize it, and it's okay. But the reason we're having these conversations is because I want us to get clear on these things so we can actually move through. Whatever you're struggling with, ladies, it's just a symptom. It's not who you are. Who you are is your gifts. Who you are is your story. Who you are is your kindness. Who you are is your power. But what we do, that's all that we're focusing on cleaning up right now. So Natalie says 2024 is a new house, fresh start, and a house that will be a proper home for us. Natalie, you're going to love this. You're about to love what we're going to say. I'm going to say right now. So ladies, what we're going to do is I'm going to walk with you through a concept I call the 4 quadrants. Now, again, to summarize world building, you have an internal world that is dying to get out into your external world. You have a style of your home. You have a standard for your relationships. You have an idea for a great business. You have a really, really healthy and strong body. You have a vision for each of these areas. And when these your internal world is tended to and it's expressed, it ends up coming out into the external world for all of us to experience. So the idea is that we want to get you out so that we can touch it, so that we can hear you, so that we can smell your flavors, so that we can see your branding, so that we could see your home and feel the atmosphere that you have to bring. Okay? I know it feels a little up here, but it is. So just bear with me. With the 4 quadrants, what this is addressing is that before you walk out and try to change the external world, we need to get you all tuned up in the 4 quadrants of your internal world. Okay? Brandy says Shane joined the party and says love with hearts. Yeah, Shane. So happy you're here. So here's the deal. The 4 quadrants are your home, your body, your relationships. Whoa. Does anybody else see the balloons? Did anybody else see that, or was that just me? Oh God. I promise I didn't do any drugs. Okay. So we have our home, our body, our relationships, and our business. These are the 4 areas of our world, of your world. You did too. Okay. Thanks, Natalie. I'm like, did I just say that out loud? Okay. I don't know what happened, but we'll go with it. Lindy, what's going on, friend? So with the 4 quadrants of your world, each of these quadrants deserve your time, your attention, and your quality. When all 4 of these areas are tended to properly, you're going to be able to go out and do really big, bold things. You're going to do it comfortably too, because when you come back home, and your home space is cared for, you get to set everything down and just live in it. And when your body feels healthy and like it has energy to give, you can go for days. When your relationships support you, when you're down or misguided, and they give back to you, you never feel alone. And when your business is structured and has the ability to expand with you, you don't have to think twice about where it is that you're going. The 4 areas, the 4 quadrants of your world are this. And the way that I discovered this was I would have clients who would come to me for body goals, fitness goals. And they would say, one of them, for example, she was like, oh my God, I need help with nutrition. You're it. I need to work with you. Please, like, help me. And so we went into a 3-month coaching experience. Now, when I gave her her solution for body goals, we came up with the nutrition plan. We decided to incorporate fasting. She was very excited, and she's a very proficient woman. This woman was beautiful, and her world that she was bringing in business out onto the world had to do with fashion and clothing and different cultures, and it was a very good passion project. She's also very savvy. But as she was seeing success in her business, and she knew her time to come next was to focus on also her body so she doesn't leave her body behind, we would give her plans and strategies to take action on, and for some reason, she kept running into this invisible wall. The entire rest of those 3 months was very little focused on food. The action's simple, go eat an apple, right? No, the action was simple, follow the plan. She couldn't bring herself to do it, and as we dug deeper, we realized her deeper fear was that she was going to lose her marriage. She was seeing so much success in the quadrant of her business. And she wanted to improve the quadrant of her body so she could really just go out there and tackle life and do what she felt called to do. But there was a quadrant in her world that didn't allow her to feel safe. And it created this backup effect of I can't do it and I'm frustrated and I don't know why I didn't follow through. And rather than recognizing that the issue was a fear of outgrowing her husband, she tried to put more effort into, she had been trying to put more effort into her business. Ladies, the reason I love the concept of the quadrants is because it allows us to look at the full 360 view. It allows us to see that I'm trying to go this way, but this other quadrant of my life doesn't feel supportive to me. So her and I worked together on this, and we talked about communication. We talked about femininity. We talked about masculine, feminine dynamics. We talked about her trust levels of him. We talked about her safety, her emotional, her history, her story, her background. We talked about all of this and cleaned all of that up. By the end of the 3 months, they were holding hands. She felt like she trusted him to take action more. She started to delegate out to him. She stopped trying to do everything herself. And as she began to tend to the quadrant of her relationships, then she found the ease of meal prepping. Then she found the ease of eating healthy. It was so much easier to do because she was willing to now see success because she knew she wasn't going to leave her relationship behind. Ladies, when we want to go out and change the world, we have to know, I've seen it over and over again, we have to know that these 4 areas have our back. And it doesn't matter how many coaches you hire. It doesn't matter how many PDFs you download. It doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you watch or how much advice you get from friends. If we don't recognize that the 4 quadrants of your world all need you. If your desire is to see growth in one of them, we want to make sure we check in on the others too. Christina, hello. Ashley said, will there be a handout? LOL. Tell me about that. What handout? Did I say something, or do we need a handout? Because I'll make one. I need to exercise more. 15,000 steps a day just isn't enough. Ooh, girl. Woo. I love it, Natalie. I'm ready to hear that is in motion. I would love to hear whatever we need to do to support that. Let's talk about it. So here's the dealio. There's another client I had. I'm going to give you one more story. I had another client, and her big goal was to, again, I work mostly with people around their body, stepping now more into business coaching. But she really wanted to see weight loss. Her big thing was weight loss. And we worked together over and over and over again. This woman crushes it in business. I'm talking, she's a shark, she's a leader, she does so many things. She's always being asked to do more than she's supposed to be doing, and she does it like, oh, and she's such a gentle, happy, lively person. She loved being outside, doing outdoor things. And we ran into a similar issue where, okay, here's what you're supposed to do. Just couldn't do it. Why is that? What we discovered was the state of her home, the cleanliness of her home. There were a bunch of older things in her house that she knew if she released and let go, threw away, removed, she would feel lighter. And I love seeing the parallel between weight loss and us releasing things. Because when we release things in the physical, we tend to notice our body, you will be surprised, but our body will end up matching that. So I have a strategy on how I get people to up-level their home quadrant. She did the entire strategy. She got her home to a state, she's like, Sammy, the things that I found, that I was like, I need to get rid of this. And she even found some things around her mom that it's just older clothing and things that her mom had given to her. But there were some pressure elements around her mom's expectations of her and her weight. And what was so beautiful about that is when she threw that clothes out, she was like, I let go the expectations that were held on me in this one activity. She cleared out the quadrant of her home. She let her home represent the new version of her. And then she began to lose the weight. When you do the work, ladies, when you do the active inner work, you become more energetically attractive. That's what active and attractive stands for. We always want to push. We want to find the plan. We want to figure it out. We want to just have a checklist. That's all part of the game too. But there's something energetic that's so valuable to talk about. And when you look for what it is that you want in 2024, my ask of you is, what is the thing that's getting in the way? What's the area or the quadrant in your life that's the step before the step? What's the step before the step? Ashley says, yes, been working through that. It's a thing, and it's mostly an awareness thing. Now, here's the thing. We're all smart. We're all very, very smart. So a lot of you guys are going to see a massive transformation by just realizing this. But once you do, typically what happens is it's kind of an emotional journey. And so you'll hear me say the health journey is an emotional journey. So some things that you do, you might encounter some feelings, which is why we like to talk about those here. So if you feel something, lean into it a little bit more. Lean into it a little bit more. Now, in regards to the world building, there's a specific sequence in those 4 quadrants that I want to address, because when you're really trying to find your best flow, the ideal version of this flow, this is how it would look. Imagine if you could have a world where you didn't run into any resistance. Now, this is the utopia. This is the will we actually get there? We hope so kind of mindset. But imagine this. Home is the most important quadrant you can run into. Home is your foundation. The home quadrant is the quadrant where you wake up from sleep. Now, if sleep is your access to pure peace, whether you sleep well or not, we're not going to talk about that yet, but it's your access point to the purest form of peace. and you wake up like Cinderella, and you put your feet off the edge of the bed, and you say, it's gonna be a good day. And you step in a pile of dog vomit, and you look up and your closet's wide open and it's all junky. You can't even find the clothes that you want, and it's just like, ugh. And then you wake up and you go to brush your teeth, and the cabinet that you have is full of a bunch of different junk. And you gotta find all the stuff you need, and the towels aren't clean, so you gotta use an old towel, and you gotta stumble down to the kitchen, and the kitchen sink's still full of dishes, and it's like you were gonna cook a healthy meal for your body, but I can't even get to the body quadrant because I'm already flustered. You'd be amazed at how much your world is gonna change when you tend to your home. Now, home has other dimensions, which we'll talk about in a different live, but mostly home, the home quadrant is anything that involves space, your space. It could be your computer space. It could be your physical home space. It could be your car space. But places that you have to navigate, places that you need to go find information, places that you need to go find things to be useful for you, that's the home. And what we want is that every space that we're involved in feels like home. Now, the body quadrant is you. Everything that involves you as the one. You are the one. You are the one in your world. Your whole world is centered around you. You are the center of your universe, and you are center of your world, okay? Your world is what you walk around with everywhere you go. And so everywhere you stand is valuable. When you can't tend to your body, you end up having an aura that's diminished. Now, the body is going to look like health. It's going to look like your personality. It's going to look like your clothing, your style, your voice, your expression. It's going to look like the hair that you choose. It's going to look like you, the one that woke up in the home. Now she's got a body. And she's living in her home. She's walking around. She's engaging with herself. This is before anybody else comes in the picture. Your body is everything that involves you. The third quadrant for relationships. This is where we take the body, the one, the you, and you interact with another you, another person, another one. A relationship, the relationship quadrant, is anything that has to do with the relationship between one and one. One mom, one dad, one friend, one boss, one employee, one. Every one relationship is a relationship. So everything involving relationships, communication style, emotions, emotional intelligence, patience, expressing yourself, being heard, listening to others. Everything involving relationships, this is the quadrant of relationships. And then business is the quadrant that's not just about your physical business, it's anything that is your business. Business is essentially multiple one-to-one, 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 one-to-one. If you have an actual business, you own a business, or you work for a business is essentially a bunch of one-to-one relationships. And if you have issues with relationships, just one-to-one, that will show up in your relationships everywhere you go, which means your relationships will affect your business. Now, for those of you guys who identify as leaders, which is all of us, we've got work to do. That's our business. And if you see how all four of these quadrants link up, anywhere in the system is going to affect how you are able to put your world out here onto the earth. So you want to tend to all of them. My vision for you, ladies, is that you're able to sit down on your couch and be like, I love my world. I love my home. I love my friends. I love the people I've chosen to be around me. I love my body. I love my clothes. I love my voice. I love my business. I love my social media. I love the way I spoke to that person today. I love what they see in me. I love. Imagine women walking around feeling supported by the world that they've built for themselves. Imagine what your world would look like if you built a world that is so special just for you. Ladies, next month, I'm going to do a masterclass called 3 Days of World Building. I ran this 2 years ago, and it is the most fun and exciting process to build out your world. I've got a fun, kitschy, exciting experience of actually building your world, and it gives great insight on your character, what you love, what you like. And once we build your world and put it together, your steps after that is to actually physically build it. And it's all creative. It's not work, it's creativity. It's exciting, it's fun. And so there's more here on what it looks like to build your world. But where I want to start with you right now is I want to ask you some questions before I go and see what you guys have been saying. As I'm reading what you've already said, I want you to answer these questions in the comments with me. Last week we talked about what are your dreams? The dreams that you have, Lisa, you made it. The dreams that you have, I want you to be able to define. Tell me, what quadrant are some of your biggest dreams in? Hi. What quadrant are some of your biggest dreams in? Are they more, are you noticing you're leaning more towards relationship dreams? Like you want to feel more romantic and passionate and connected with your spouse? Do you want to go on a first date? Do you want to be more in a girl's circle and be more around like-minded entrepreneurs? Do you want to be able to speak your mind more with the people in your life? Do you want to, what do you want in regards, do you have a dream that's in the quadrant of relationships? If it's in your home, you want to feel more restful at your home. You want your house to represent you more. You want it to be more luxurious, or you want it to represent more boldness with color. You want to invite more people. You want to make it more of a social space for people to come over and be with you and make memories together. Do you want it are your dreams more in home and body? Are your dreams more in business, where you see yourself networking more, sharing more, talking more, creating more, producing more, navigating more, supporting more? What do you see, or are your dreams in the business quadrant? And if it's in your body, do you want to have more style? Do you want to get stronger? Do you want to feel more toned? Do you want to feel healthier in your gut? Do you want to have more energy? Do you want to experience more love? What do you want in regards to your body? Natalie says her goals are in home and body, and I love that. I love that. So I'm going to read what you guys said, and forgive me if you hear this sound. I have a difficulty running into no sound in this apartment complex, because if it's not the airplanes, they're doing construction outside of the window. So thank you for listening still. So what quadrant are your big dreams, the goals that you have for 2024? What quadrant are those goals in? Let's hear. So Lindy says, Christina says it's imperative. Yes. Lindy says, when my house is messy, I definitely feel more cluttered in my mind, and vice versa. I noticed that first time when I was in college. If it was a test week, those dishes were not getting done, and my roommates didn't like it, and my room was just clothes ever. It was crazy. The second I was done with my tests, I'd clean everything up and we'd be fine. That's the first time I noticed how connected those were. Brandy says, that's right. I've seen it happening, releasing the shit no longer needed, released weight in her body. It is amazing. What if we didn't have to only count macros? What if it got to be an emotional release as well? Why wouldn't we want both? Natalie says, my problem is planning, time management. Never seems to be enough time in the day with my job. I get home and I tend to sit and crash as I've been on the go all day in school. Exactly. So it's like, what other aspects of your world can we build that help support the crash by either making the crash the best part of your day, and it's a crash that serves you, right? Because I know when I crashed, or I used to crash, it would be Where's the pizza? I need a little bottle of wine, and like, let me make my day worse the next day because of it, right? So how could we make your crash either be better and healthier, or how could we keep you from crashing? What aspect of your world do we need to build so that you can not have to crash? Ashley says, I organize my closet by raggedy exercise, leisure, merch, business, and paint. This way I can look in the small sections of my closet like raggedy. And depending on what I am dressing for, it's so freaking freeing. I'm telling you, one of my favorite things right now is efficiency. I used to not be an efficient person. My focus, like Kaylin and I were talking, it would be everywhere. Now I've learned that I think so much clearly, and I reduce the amount of decisions I have to make each day when I'm a little bit more organized, and it brings so much peace. Lindy says, I know my business is on the back burner because I want to fix my body. That's what I'm talking about, friend. That is a huge revelation. Ashley says, can you recap the names of the 4 quadrants? So we've got home. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Lindy. I love you for this. Home, body, business, and relationships. So home is your homestead. Body is physical health and weight loss. Business is multiple businesses where I'm free to express my creativity. That home first, body second, relationships third, and then business fourth. There we go. So ladies, when you know what you want, second question, or the last question I want to ask is, the things that are getting in your way, when you're honest with yourself, what quadrant are those things in? The things that are getting in your way, what quadrant are those things in? I'd love to hear that. Ashley says, gotcha, I have dreams in all of them, but relationships have been the biggest dreams because it affects them all. Oh my God. I swear the only reason why I'm able to really be here with you guys now, and I've not been this consistent in Facebook Lives and showing up in my entire business over the last 3 months, is because I did such deep work on my relationships quadrant. And it took me months to get to where I am now with relationships. I had to upgrade my standards, my expectations of other people, my ability to express myself without fear. I had to do a lot of work. And it's crazy because I identify as someone who's very good at relationships, but what I realized was I'm a very good listener. I'm not always a good expresser. And so in the past, when I would try to show up in my business, which is multiple relationships, right, I would get overwhelmed by the dynamic of having to keep that up. And that pressure really brought me a lot of starting and stopping in my business. And so now the reason I'm able to be here is because I'm learning how to receive from other people. I'm learning how to take up more space. I'm learning how to allow myself to be in my own relationships. That was something I had to really master and be able to feel comfortable feeling in my body. So I really resonate with that because it stems everywhere. It can really get its fingers into other quadrants and hold us back. Lindy, I love that. So your body, I don't truly love myself, my body, for much of my life. And now that I am, now I'm not going to wear white anymore because I can't always see your comments, that I am kind of forced to take care of myself. It isn't overnight to heal. Exactly. It does take time. And the fact that you ladies are here and willing to have these conversations, you're going to not only take the time, but you're going to be focused and efficient with your time. So you're not going to be like how we've all been, which is I'm going this way. And world's like, nope, you got to deal with this first and then go this way. You're actually going to go in the right direction first, which means then you will receive the result and you're going to find your motivation from actually putting your attention on the right things. I can't explain. There's nothing more discouraging than putting effort into something and it turns out it doesn't work or it's the absolute wrong thing to focus on. If body is getting over myself, then body is holding me back the most, and not from I want to lose weight kind of way. It's I need to make a decision and create a blueprint kind of way. That's what hinders me in all areas. Natalie says, packing up at my house and decluttering has been tough, and it also is liberating too. And as I get rid of lots of clutter and stuff we don't need, I'm going back to putting my health before wealth again. Yes, and being in alignment, we have to find what works for our body. I love you guys. Breakthrough. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is exactly it. So ladies, I want to thank you for being here today. We've got so much more to build on. You have no idea what I have coming, but this is one thing that is so needed, and the perspective is very powerful to start realizing, wait a second, I want this, but I'm not tending to this, and that's why I'm not getting this. It's not me. It's not that I'm not worthy. It's not that you're not worthy. It's not that you don't have the wherewithal, the tenacity, the ability, the strength. You have the ability to make your life happen. But what we don't realize is that we tend to be focusing on the thing that we want without realizing there's a symptom of a different area that needs our love. And we give that our attention. We build that area of our world, and then we're supported in a way that allows us to build the area of our world that we really want. When you have all 4 of your quadrants really stacked up to support you in this season of your life, I'm telling you, people can do things. You can encounter things. You can get knocked upside the head by life. But when your world supports you, it does not matter. And this is the internal strength of a woman. This is our superpower, is to feel supported by all 4 of these things. And when we can, ladies, we are so resilient. We can withstand so much. And whatever else requires our skills in the outside world, it's going to be okay, because we've got our home, our body, our relationships, and our business. We just take it and we move on, and we bring our shining lights to the earth. That's what we're meant to do. So Natalie, thank you so much. Ladies, thank you for being here. And I would love for you to go inside of the Facebook group and share this if you're willing. Just write down again your dreams, what it is, the quadrant that this dream resides in, and the quadrant that you're aware needs your attention before you really hit the ground running in 2024. My goal is that we're going to do a masterclass in 2 weeks. That masterclass is going to really help dial this narrative down into actionable steps. So what I want is that you really get clear on what your world is, or what you think your world is, what quadrant you're aiming for, but what quadrant needs you. And we can start prepping so that you can begin to build this quadrant up so you can really get what it is that you want. We want you to have what you want. You're so welcome, Lindy. It's my pleasure. And thank you for showing up for me. I'm so grateful that we get to do this together. I've been so nervous to bring this conversation to the world because I kind of feel like it's a little out there, but it also feels like home. It's so bizarre. So I'm glad you guys receive it. I will show up as much as we need to get these things moving. So I'm dedicated. I'm committed. I'm going to show up with my A game. I'm here with you. You've got this. I've got you. This community is where we have each other. So not out there at all. It's right here. Oh, goosebumps. I love you guys. All right. So whatever you have to share in the group, I would love to see where your dreams are so we can all see ourselves. I believe in vulnerability and sharing. So share what you got. And we'll come back again next week. You're going to love what we talk about next week. It's going to be a continuation from this. So I love you guys. Here's to becoming more active and attractive. And we'll talk soon.